This is an update video for those of you who've been using MoSocial for the last couple of weeks in V1. This is our updated version. The majority of the changes are based on the feedback you gave us over the last couple of weeks, so thank you so much for using the tool and giving us some great feedback. So I'm going to go ahead and log in, and the purpose of this video is to ensure that everybody has an overview of the things that have changed and to make sure that they understand how to accomplish everything they want to do. So this is the new look and feel, based very much on the feedback from beta users. The black background, although cool, was probably not the best one. So some of the feedback was that you wanted a more clean white background, etc. So this is the new look, feel, design. So I've got MoSocial loaded up here in my dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and now activate MoSocial. And so let's let that load up. There we go. So I've got all of my accounts connected at the top. And one of the changes that was asked for by a couple of clients was it would be nice to be able to post to certain social media channels, but not all of them. So we've now got an ability up the top here. If we've got a post and we do not want it to go to X, we simply click the X button and that disconnects that channel just for this post. So it doesn't change the fact that you're still actively connected to all of your channels. It just means for the post I'm about to create, we wouldn't be using it to proliferate X. So I'm going to go ahead and leave them all on because I want to see the previews. So now it's structured very much in this 1, 2, 3 lineup. So the first thing we're going to do is generate a post. This is very similar in terms of functionality to the system that came immediately before it. We can either create it with Flow, who's our AI agent, or we can write our own. And so that's still consistent. The difference here now from kind of a user perspective is we've implemented this prompt bar at the bottom. And so you're going to use that when you're writing the caption ideas. So for example, if I wanted to, let's think about a caption I would like. So create a story about a customer who uses MoSocial for his bakery business. Oh, not his bear business. Should definitely learn to type before I do these videos. For his bakery business and the impact that the solution has had. So let's have a look what it comes up with. All right, so Flow has come up with a few different options. Let's have a little look at these. So proof that MoFlo isn't just icing on the cake, it is the cake. This bakery business went from humble beginnings to major profits thanks to us. Call it a glow up. Before MoFlo, this bakery was just baking bread. Now they're baking money. It's almost unfair. So it's come up with, as you may remember, MoFlo, we have our configurations as witty, funny, punchy, and slightly sarcastic. So it's certainly mimicked that in all of these captions. And it's done a pretty good job. A local bakery was kneading dough, then MoFlo came along. Now they're rolling in it. Seriously, their success is sweet. Want a piece of the pie? Chat with us. So it's put all the hashtags in appropriately. It's got some very punchy, sarcastic, and funny captions, which we like. And so now we're down to step 2. And this is where another one of the large changes in this generation came. In step 2 under generate image, a lot of the feedback from our beta clients was that they liked the captions the majority of the time and thought they were very good. And they liked the fact that they could edit them, as we can still do here. But sometimes the images that came out were really not something that they thought was good enough. They wanted some more control over the image. They wanted to be able to actually say what they wanted the image to be of, rather than the engine just interpret it from the captions. So we've added this middle option to add your own description. So we've still got using the captions. We've still got upload your own if it's an image that you already have that you'd like to use. But add description in the middle there is a new one. And so when we move to add description, you're going to see we're now back with our prompt bar. And so just like I did with a caption, I can now actually start to drive what I'd like to be in this image. So this post was about a bakery business using MoSocial. So create an image of a bakery business owner who is very happy holding a loaf of bread and his cell phone showing an Instagram post. So something that ties this whole thing together. Let's see how it does with that. Okay, so the first image is produced. That's another change from the previous version. Now we actually, instead of waiting to create all three images before we show them, we actually show them to you as they're created, so you can actually start manipulating them. So here, baked to perfection, I can now select this image and actually view what it will look like. We have a very happy bakery owner. His profits are going up. He's holding his loaf of bread, and he's also holding his cell phone showing an Instagram post of his bread. So I think it's fair to say that that's a pretty accurate reflection of what we asked Mo. Uh, okay, so it looks like they've come up with a second post now, and I'm not over the moon about bright reds and think this looks a little aggressive, but it is a happy baker holding a loaf of bread and a cell phone with social media posts on it. So that one wouldn't be my favorite. And now the third one looks like it's a photorealistic option. Sweet success shared. A very happy baker with a loaf of bread and a social media post that she's holding up on her cell phone. So that's a pretty cool one too. I mean, I think on balance, everything is personal preference, of course, but on balance, I think this one is probably the one that brands best to MoFlo with a color schema and our style of our website. We use a lot of these kind of character images on our website. So I would probably go with this one. I like this image. And now down to schedule posts, another big change. You can post it now. You can schedule it just like you guys have been doing with the previous version. But based on customer feedback, it was deemed very important to have this third one, which is save to drafts. And so if you like what you've created, you think it's a good social media post, maybe it's a post that you think, oh, okay, I'm going to send that one out next week sometime. Not really sure what day yet, but I want to save it and have access to it. Or I want to chat with my partner or someone else on the team and see what they think before we actually go and schedule it. You can now save it to drafts. And so I'm going to save that to drafts right now. And when we go under posted, you'll see what I've posted. And when you go under drafts, you'll see this post I just created. So we can see what platforms we were aiming it at when I created it. And if at any time I want to go back into it to either further edit it or post it or schedule it, I can do so by clicking that view file. The gallery is still there as in the previous versions, so you're free to download any of your previously created content, use it in any other marketing materials, websites, or anything else. On the left-hand side here is a redesigned configuration menu. So you can see here all of the information MoFlo is using to get background information and learn about your business through your website. And so, it's grabbing your font and your color palette. It knows who your target customer group is. And this is where we can set our tone. And this is something that I've had a lot of questions about. Some people have played with it and enjoyed the experience. This is where we can actually change the type of tone. So as we said, so we're going to take a quick look at the configuration. So this is how MoSocial does such a great job of understanding your business and writing on your behalf. And so as you know, most of you, because we've discussed it, it looks at your website, learns about your business, your products, your services, your customers, your fonts, your color schemas, et cetera, and it captures it all down here. So it already knows when it's creating content, it creates it within this context, this color palette, or at least the dominance of color palette. It knows what your font is, and so it can match your branding guidelines. Tone is something I've talked to a lot of people about, where you can actually influence the type of captions that are coming up. And so as I said to you, MoFlo has our set as genuinely funny, experimental, smart, sarcastic. You can set it up for professional, luxurious, sensible, empathetic. And so it's really a question of you just matching a style that you want. And so I would encourage everybody to play with this and put a few adjectives in that you think best describe your business or the way you want to be perceived, and then see how the results differ from there. And then the last tab down here is usage. And this is where you can actually track your activity on the various solutions that you have enabled from MoFlo. And so we're only enabled on here with MoSocial, but you can see here on a daily basis how many posts have been made. and then you can cast it back as far as you want and kind of see what your cadence for posting is. And it's a good way to kind of just reflect on, am I doing enough posts? Am I missing too many days? Which might actually suggest that you're better off scheduling. We have a lot of our clients in the beta who've evolved a behavior where they spend 10 or 15 minutes and just build 7 posts for the next week. And then there's others of you who are going in every few days and doing a couple of days. So whatever works for you is fine, but certainly the usage is a good way to just kind of assess what activity you've had and then address any issues there. So we're very thankful for you all being part of the beta. We hope you really enjoy this update. We think it answers an enormous number of the feature requests that came back. We're hopeful over the next week or so that we'll get some more feedback from you. We'll see you continue to use it and maybe even increase your usage. And we hope you really enjoy the upgrade. Talk to you soon.